John Sigmund, General Manager of Barnett Reservoir. The reservoir is recovering quite well overnight. The lake levels dropped such to the point that this morning we could reduce the outflows from 65,000 cubic feet per second to 55,000 cubic feet per second. And we have further reduction scheduled later in the day depending on the rain. We haven't gotten any yet, so let's keep that up. The reduction in the outflows will result in a falling of the river. That's a good thing. We think that people can begin to expect to see the water moving away from their homes and businesses. The lake is now down below 297 feet. We've recovered some of the storage space that we need to tackle the rain that's going to come Thursday. And we expect to use that we expect to survive the 1 to 2 inches that's predicted above I-20 without increasing outflows from the reservoir. Now, the Weather Service will speak more to this later, but they are predicting 2 to 3 inches across the southern part of the state. They're also predicting some rises in the Pearl River across the southern part of the state. I just want to remind everyone that that's due to rainfall. It will not be due to increases in outflows from the reservoir.
My name is Marty Pope. I'm the Senior Service Hydrologist at the Weather Service here in Jackson. Discharges continue to decrease from the reservoir, and the river has continued to fall on the Highway 80 gauge. The good news is for Jackson right now is having that, but the water is moving downstream, producing significant flooding along the Pearl River from Simpson, Copiah counties to Marion County. This river will exceed the levels of the historical 1961 flood at Rockport and the May of '83 flood, not to be confused with the much higher flood of at Columbia of the April 1983 flood. After some review of the current flood event, we're doing some researching into the need for a river gauge, probably around the Lakeland area, to help inform people in Northeast Jackson, those areas along Lakeland and Old Fannin Road. There was a significant difference during this flood between the depth of the water in Northeast Jackson versus downtown, where the channel was very much more efficient in carrying the flow through the area. Now, meteorologist in charge, Bill Parker, will give an update on the weather and the potential for flash flooding.
As Marty said, there's some good news with the river going down, slowly going down. As it relates to weather-wise, we do have a flash flood watch that will continue overnight until 7 a.m. tomorrow. Good news is the rain has held off, but we are expecting rain tonight. The forecast will continue to be wet all the way through Thursday. We're expecting anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of rainfall between once the rain starts through Thursday. We'll have a break this weekend, and then we're expecting rain to come back into the forecast Sunday into Monday. So that total rainfall probably over the next 7 days will be anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of rainfall. I would say that although the river is slowly going down, where we have water ponding right now with rainfall coming in tonight, we could see flash flooding. We could see additional roads closed depending on how much rainfall we get, especially if we get over an inch of rainfall per hour. So although the river is slowly going down, that's good news. Rain is still in the forecast, and we still have to monitor the rainfall rates, and those rainfall rates could aggravate the flooding conditions that are ongoing right now. So just want to put that out there, that although the river is going down, that doesn't mean the flooding is going away, and that's why we have the flash flood watch in effect through 7 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Good afternoon. As always, I'd like to express my gratitude for the local, county, and state emergency response teams. I'd like to advise all of the constituents in the affected areas that this is still a dangerous circumstance. Stay out of floodwaters. It is unsafe. Wildlife has been washed out of their habitat, giving way to snakes and other animals being in the water. It is critical that you do not return to your home until the clear has been given. We are relying on Entergy. We're working alongside Entergy in order to establish a safe time for people to return back to their homes. As debris removal takes place, there is a process by which that is correctly done. And so we look for you to work along with the city, MEMA, and all of the other responding agencies, and how we have a coordinated effort to deal with that. The City of Jackson has an internal response team that will work alongside MEMA, our county emergency operator, and any other agency that is called to assist. We plan on having curbside pickup and roll-off dumpsters available this Friday for affected areas. The Police Training Academy is still available to anyone who needs it. That is at 3000 St. Charles Street, and we are working alongside the American Red Cross, who are providing staff and support for that facility. If you are a displaced homeowner requiring assistance, you can call 311 or our JPD non-emergency line at 601-960-1234. Anyone needing to report damage can do so using Crisis Track to report the debris cleanup, residential damage, commercial damage, etc. We'll make that link available on our city website, which is www.jacksonms.gov. Please continue to monitor our website, social media, and the news reports for more information. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor. Now we'll hear from Board Supervisor President Robert Graham.
Good afternoon. One of the most difficult parts or phases of any disaster is the recovery phase. To assist the Hinds County Board of Supervisors and citizens in the Northeast Jackson area, the Board of Supervisors has partnered with Lowe's. We have several representatives from them with us today, and they would like to come and tell you what they're going to do and the part that they're going to play in the recovery phase of this particular disaster. They'll come break down, just take a couple of minutes.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Cesar Della Valentina. I'm the store manager of the Lowe's in Flowood. What we're going to be doing as a company is handing out bottles of water as well as supplies for those in need. The following locations will be participating. Lowe's of West Jackson, 2250 Greenway Drive. Lowe's of Ridgeland, 900 East County Lane Road. And Lowe's of Flowood, 120 Ridgeway here in Flowood. So if you need anything, don't hesitate. Reach out to your local Lowe's, and we'll be helping out with relief.
One of the things I wanted to make sure is that we drive home to the public is the fact that they will be giving out recovery buckets that will have cleaning supplies in those particular buckets at all 3 stores, and they will be giving those out as long as it lasts. We don't know how long it's going to last, but we'd like to ask the public, if you don't need them, don't go to the stores and attempt to pick them up. We're reserving those specifically for the individuals in need, and Lowe's is going to help us with that, and we really want to say to them, thank you for doing it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Supervisor Graham. Now we'll hear from Hubert Yates. He will talk about VOAD, the volunteer organization that's coming into Hinds County.
My name's Hubert Yates. I'm the board president for the Mississippi VOAD, Mississippi Voluntary Organizations Active in Disaster. I am affiliated with the Mississippi Baptist Disaster Relief Team. I have the privilege of representing through Mississippi VOAD 32 organizations across the state that are faith-based or non-governmental bodies. And we want you to know that you're not alone. We're here to help and to bring healing and hope to you. And our organizations are even now deploying, and we will have them in sight and on scene within the next several days to help in the recovery and the cleanup operations. This includes the removal of materials from homes that have been affected by the floodwaters and other forms of assistance that we can offer to you. As part of that, we will be working with MEMA and Hinds County EOC and the City of Jackson in a volunteer resource center. It will be located at Christ United Methodist Church at 6000 Old Kenton Road in Jackson. It will open on Friday morning at 8 o'clock, and we'll get the hours posted out, but we'll be opening up on Friday morning. Any survivor or anyone who's been affected by the flooding may request services from our organized volunteer groups to include debris removal and also the interior muck out and removal of those things that are affected. We will also have representatives from the Salvation Army, American Red Cross, the United Methodist Committee on Recovery, and Catholic Charities who will assist with other needs that homeowners may have. To access the assistance from the volunteer groups, you can call the 311 line for the City of Jackson or the non-emergency line that the mayor gave just a moment ago, 601-960-1234. If you would like to volunteer, if you would like to get involved in the efforts of recovery, it may be in doing assistance with homeowners, it may be in passing out materials. You can contact the Central Mississippi Hub for volunteers and nonprofits at 769-218-8675 for connection to the opportunities and the groups that are working.
Thank you, Mr. Yates. Now we'll have Dr. Dobbs from State Health Department on some very good advice.
Yeah. Thank you and good afternoon. It's important to remember that we're still in the midst of the flood phase, and it's still in many areas unsafe. So we want to repeat some of the most important messages that have been out there. First off, please stay out of the water as you may, because there may well be bacteria that can be unsafe. Certainly it's plausible that people will get wounds and exposed to the water. If you are exposed to the water, please wash it thoroughly with soap and water to try to remove any bacteria. If you get a cut, tend to it immediately. And if you have signs of infection or significant injury, please see your physician or provider immediately for urgent care, because these infections can be very bad. It's important for children not to play into flood water. We know that when we have floods of this sort, sometimes they can be contaminated with parts of sewage, and so it can be really unsanitary water, so please stay out of it. Once the water does recede and people are returning to the home, please be very careful as you work on the recovery phase or your business. First off, I'd like to say visit healthyms.com/flood for all the guidance. But just in general, be very careful. Again, watch for the flood waters. Stay clean. Use protective clothing so that you not have injuries. If you do have injury, tend to it immediately. And also, if you haven't had a tetanus shot, if you get a wound, make sure you see your physician or provider and get a tetanus shot if you haven't had one within 10 years at least. Again, please visit healthyms.com/flood for more information on how you can be safe as we recover from this flood event. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dobbs. Mr. McRaney from MEMA.
Thank you, Mayor and Board of Supervisors. Just want to reiterate what some of the other service providers have set up here today. MEMA, in continuing our support for the county and the city operations, we've developed a 1-800 line. It's the MEMA Disaster Assistance Helpline. This is to help relieve some of the pressure from the local 311 lines and to get things started to roll into what Mr. Yates talked about earlier, and that is helping you recover, helping you get back into your residence and do that properly where we don't have any issues there. That number is 1-800-434-4243. That number is going to be working from 8 to 5, Monday through Saturday, and we'll also man that from 1 to 4 on Sundays. And this line will be on our website as well as we'll publish that out to our local partners. We're going to be supporting, as the county and the city needs it, supporting damage assessments as we move forward. It's very important to capture all the debris. Everything that you do, there's money tied to that where we can help remove it. We can help get it to its proper place, store it properly. About sorting, the Department of Environmental Quality and our MEMA disaster debris management team will be putting out something on our website. We'll also put it out to the county and the city to let you know how that debris needs to be sorted and where it needs to go and how it needs to be picked up. We don't want to miss any opportunity to get any assistance on any of those. Also, our floodplain, the mitigation office is looking at those residences which happen to be in floodplains and have national flood insurance policies and whatnot. We've already been out there canvassing the neighborhoods, looking at where those areas are so we can provide assistance in that to make sure that you document everything that you have, your damage, and that we're able to get all the assistance available, put that back together. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. In closing, something Dr. Dawes pointed out is be sure that you have your safety equipment, your gloves, your mask, your Tyvek suit. These buckets that Home Depot's giving away, or Lowe's, I'm sorry, Lowe's. Correction, Lowe's. I only shop at Lowe's, okay. Be sure that you do get those from Lowe's, Red Cross, Salvation Army, any VOAD, any organization that are supplying them. Make sure your whole family. In those homes, you have a lot of, that storm water went into those homes, so just because the water went down, the contamination is still in your house. So be sure you get your kits before you start with your debris removal from inside of your home. Now, saying that, any questions for anybody?
We've heard some reports of looting in the area. Would anybody like to comment on that?
Good afternoon. We have that area, the contaminated area, saturated with police. We have not seen any loitering in that area whatsoever. Due to having received those concerns, we have increased our manpower up there. So if you go in that area, you're going to see Jackson Police Department, Hinds County Sheriff Department, Wildlife Fishery. In those areas, we ask that anybody that want to help out, please don't go to those contaminated areas because police will turn you around. Thank you.
I would just like to add that if there has been any occasion of looting, that it is isolated. And what I witnessed is people being concerned over their property, but did not understand that some of the people who may have been walking in the area near their homes was trying to measure the level of flood damage that was taking place. I was with, had the benefit of Wildlife and Fisheries taking me out, and we know that at that time there were some concerns. And so every time there has been a concern, someone has gone to check on that. And so any circumstances that may have happened would be isolated. There certainly is no widespread issue of that. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments?